Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of I'll Hang Up and Listen. Duane here from Two Goalies, One Mic. I don't even want to use the word heartbreaking loss because, I mean, let's face it, this team just never, ever can protect a lead, can never get a game in a garage. It's just, you know, I saw a stat there like 8-5 when scoring first, and I kind of scoffed at it. I'm like, that's pathetic. Like 8-5, I know, like, oh, it's a winning record, but that's still pathetic when a team scores first and you just can't, you know, maintain a lead. You have a 2-goal lead late in the third period and you just give it away. Just boneheaded play in your own end, a lot of puck watching, just, you know, lack of awareness on the Larkin tying goal. You had 3 guys puck watching, Fabry letting Larkin just kind of sneak in and score that game tying goal. It's just boneheaded, low hockey IQ plays just are really just killing this hockey team. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm going to be critical, but at the same time, it's like you have so many players out there that will not be a part of this team next year that are probably going to be gone, not probably will be gone at the deadline. One of the things I think Elliot Friedman spoke about the potential, the rumor that Buffalo is looking to move Colin Miller possibly for a first-round draft pick. A lot of people scoff at that, but to start the season, Colin Miller was probably one of our most consistent defensemen. I'm not going to say he's worth a first-round pick, but he is a right-handed defenseman, and we did all see what Rasmus Ristolainen got from Philadelphia: a first, a second, and Robert Hagg. I mean, there is a premium right-handed defenseman in this league. So who knows? Maybe we get more than what we think. I'm not saying you get a first, but maybe you get more. Maybe you get a second, and I think that's a win. If you can get a second for Colin Miller, that's a win in my book, 100%. So, a lot of names that are going to be gone. I know one of our interns is getting ready to, Carson is getting ready to, release an article on that to see the kind of just, side by side the numbers of the players that you would expect to be, available at the deadline from Buffalo, and what the return might potentially be, what you could speculate. You guys could discuss that. I don't know. It's just get back to the game. Very, very, very just, you had your high points and your low points. Aaron Dell played one hell of a game, deserved that win tonight, and Buffalo just could not get this in the garage for him. Dylan Larkin is one of my favorite players to watch in the NHL. The guy was bred to be a captain, was bred to be a leader. Scores big goals all the time for Detroit, and absolutely deserves the C on his sweater. And of course, scores the game tying and the game winning goal for the Detroit Red Wings tonight in overtime. Buffalo is just, I don't want to say they're a slow hockey team, but it just seems like they're too slow for 3-on-3 hockey right now. They just got absolutely dominated in 3-on-3. Seemingly this season, especially in that 3-on-3 overtime period. They could not get the puck out of their own end. They struggled. They struggled to keep possession, to get possession. And it literally looked like a 5-on-3 power play out there, not 3-on-3. It was just hard to watch. Alex Tuck, I thought, had one of the better games out of the Sabres tonight. On that second goal, it doesn't happen without his hard work in the corner. The guy battled. Was it Cedar? Maybe I might have been Cedar. I can't remember. Maybe somebody that is watching on YouTube can give me that name. But he battled him. He won that battle. He got the puck to the front. Tage Thompson takes a shot, and Jeff Skinner's there to bury the rebound. And we're all listening to Party in the USA to a very, very empty crowd at KeyBank Center. Obviously, the weather played a huge, huge part in that. But, Jeff Skinner is having a huge turnaround season for Buffalo. I believe he's on third pace for 32 goals this season, which obviously compared to the previous 2 years is, night and day under Ralph Kruger. I've seen every time he scores, not just a goal, but a big goal. You see people just, make the Ralph Kruger references, and it's so funny. I think I read one that said, Jeff Skinner's on pace for 32 goals. Just goes to show what a guy can do when his head coach doesn't want him dead. And, I myself tweeted out every time Jeff Skinner smiles, Ralph Kruger has diarrhea. It's so true that you give the guy opportunity, he's going to produce because he's not afraid to get into those dirty areas below the dots around the net, pick up loose pucks and score. There's nothing really fancy about Jeff Skinner's game. He's just willing to, take a beating for loose pucks in and around the net and score. More often than not, he's going to score a garbage goal in front. You're not going to score a highlight reel goal. Not saying that he can't, but that's just Jeff Skinner's game. And, I think there's been another bright spot this season is Jeff Skinner's turnaround. And, you're not going to get a guy to live up to that contract. You're just not. It is hard to watch. Not hard to watch. It's hard to stomach him getting paid that kind of money. But again, that's not his fault. It's not our fault. Jason Botterill, paid him $9.5 million. It was an absolutely terrible decision by Buffalo to pay that guy that money after what was clear as day a contract year. Was really bolstered by the play of Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel is the biggest reason why Jeff Skinner got that contract. So, but to see him perform this well with no elite center, and really just be given more opportunities than he did under Ralph Kruger, it is, a breath of fresh air, and hopefully he's still young. He can carry that into the next couple seasons. Again, you're never going to get, the worth of that contract, but it is nice to see that he is, trending in the right direction. I believe is that they have a back-to-back. I'm looking this up right now. I got to come back and go right back into it tomorrow against the Ottawa Senators, an Ottawa Senators team that is currently, let's see here, their record is they're 7th in the Atlantic Division. I don't have an actual record, but obviously they're not having this season that they would like. Their last game, which was Saturday, they boat raced the Edmonton Oilers, who's been an absolute shit show, 6-4. So, and, actually winning 2 games in a row after getting boat raced by the Maple Leafs on January 1st, had a long break, came back, won 4-1 against the Calgary Flames, and then again boat races the Edmonton Oilers 6-4. That's got to be a tough situation for Edmonton. I mean, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, 2 of the best players in the world, and they just can't figure it out. Whether it's in goal, defensively, they're just an absolute shit show, just as much as Buffalo. At least Buffalo, we know what this team is. They're a team about individual development this year, and individual development this year, and our expectations that we set the bar here, whereas Edmonton, it should be up here after making the playoffs last year. Like their bar needs to be up here, especially when you have 2 MVP players on your team, 2 guys that have won the Hart Trophy on your team. Mike Smith had a phenomenal season last year, and I know he's dealt with some injury stuff this year, so it's been inconsistent in net for them. I know they have Koskinen. I'm not sure, honestly, who's playing in that right now for Edmonton, but I know it's been an absolute shit show between the pipes for them this season. Played a big part in that. So, but getting back to tonight's Buffalo Sabres 3-2 loss to the Detroit Red Wings. Remember, this is brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case over on George Urban Boulevard. Make sure you get there for your game night plans this coming Sunday night. Bills and Chiefs. In the I believe this would be the conference championship game. I don't know. Is it divisional game? It's a divisional game, but make sure you get there for all your beverage needs for your playoff parties, and enjoy. They have a great selection over there at Outlet Liquor. Again, the place to buy a case. But again, getting right into it, we'll get you your goals, your points from tonight's game right here in one moment. Again, 3-2 loss to the Detroit Red Wings in a matinee game today on Martin Luther King Day. Dylan Larkin, obviously, both of Detroit's goal are 2 of Detroit's goals, 1 regulation game-winning goal in overtime, and Namestnikov shorthanded especially coming right after a Buffalo Sabres goal. They get that power play on the goaltender interference challenge. They come back, they get they get a power play, and they give up a shorty. I mean, can't let that happen. I mean, another thing too I saw on Twitter, man, is and I'm not sure how much you can blame him. I mean, I'm sure there is some blame, but you see this team constantly give up leads in the third period and not be able to close out games. How much are you putting that on coaching? I mean, I'm not really putting a ton of it on Don Granato right now, just because you look at the roster and it's just like, what's he supposed to do? You have guys that are still out from COVID. You have guys that, a lot of players in this team that won't be here next year that really aren't NHL level anymore. And, I can't, I'm hard pressed to put a lot of blame on I hate that name, on Don Granato right now. So, just addressing that was something that was in I mentions. I don't put a ton of blame on Don Granato with this roster. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What I want to see is consistent 60-minute efforts and see the guys that we want to develop to continue to develop. To see I know Rasmus Dahlin with another assist tonight. Adding to kind of like a resurgence season for him. I know he just got announced as Buffalo's representative in the All-Star game. I'm really surprised. 23 points in 38 games for the Swedish defenseman. I'm not sure if he leads the team in points. I don't think he does, but he's having really like a comeback season. And I know we were really hard on him to start the year, but ever since getting back with Yoki Haru, he's really turned it around, especially in his own end. Also, Buffalo goal scorers, as I said, goal and assist to Jeff Skinner. And Henry Yoki Haru open scoring early on in the first period. Tage Thompson with an assist. Again, as I said, Dahlin with an assist. And Aaron Dell with 32 saves on 35 shots against, giving up 3 goals back-to-back. Great starts for Aaron Dell. But again, you just need to get these games in the garage, especially when you're getting a performance like that out of a goaltender like Aaron Dell. Be very interesting to see what Buffalo's moves are coming into this trade deadline, especially at goaltender. You have UPL at week to week. You have Malcolm Subban month to month. It's extremely difficult to imagine that they aren't shopping around once again for a goalie. I mean, you can't realistically continue to put Michael Hauser and Aaron Dell out there, right? I'm not sure how close Craig Anderson is to coming back. I haven't seen much on that. I think I saw that he was practicing again, but even so, are we really expecting a guy to coming back after, an upper body month-to-month injury and expecting him to just take the reins and play most of these games? No, I don't think so. I think you got to find, another solution to this issue. And once again, another issue in that I don't know the numbers offhand. I'm gonna figure that out. After I get done with this, is I want to know how many goalies Buffalo has started since the departure of Ryan Miller, because I'm sure it's astronomically close to 50. Like last time I looked, it was well over 20, close to 30. So, but with this season, I think we're on to, you've had Dell, Tokarski, UPL, Hauser, Craig Anderson. I think that's it, right? And Malcolm Subban. That's 6 goaltenders this season have dressed for the Buffalo Sabres. That's fucking insane. So we have a couple comments here. What is new? Never can hold a lead. It was a good game from Tuck, but do you think he is going to continue to want to play for Buffalo? Absolutely. There is no question on that, Matt. It's, you don't see the concern or the panic in Alex Tuck's face when talking to the media. Like he especially knows what this is. This is all about, again, as I mentioned before, individual development, getting these kids, teaching them the ways of the NHL, turning them into winners, even though if they're not winning this season. I know just for the sense of fan morale, I'd like more wins, but what I want out of these players is showing more individual development through and through. I want to see Dylan Cousins to continue to move his game forward. Rasmus Dahlin to continue to become the elite defenseman we expect him to become. I want to see more if Peyton Krebs sticks around. I want to see more from Peyton Krebs, like that fancy assist to Alex Tuck that we saw. I want to see more individual plays like that. Obviously, Jack Quinn, after being sent back to Rochester, back-to-back 4-point nights, gets his first career professional hockey hat trick. Guy is absolutely tearing it up in Rochester. So I'd imagine it's not the last we're going to see of Jack Quinn, especially in this world of COVID where you constantly have players, being on and off the COVID list. So I'd imagine we're going to see Jack Quinn again at some point for the Buffalo Sabres. When we see JJ Paterka, I see him to continue to move forward in Rochester if he ever comes back up to Buffalo again. Continue to see Alex Tuch to be the leader he has been so far for this team. Again, I can totally see, I know Andrew Peters mentioned it on episode 81 of Two Goalies, One Mike, but, I think that guy is the one you're making, Alex Tuch is born to be the captain of this hockey team. That's why I'm kind of holding out on buying my Alex Tuch jersey because I think they're going to stick a C on it. I really do next year. I'm not saying a guy like Dylan Cousins isn't deserving of it, but he's still young. I mean, why put that type of pressure on a kid? Put an A on his jersey. Why put that type of pressure on him to be a captain this early in his career? But again, you see the further development of these young players, and I think I'm valuing that more right now. I'm not saying I value it more than wins, but I'm not as concerned with losing as I have been the previous 2 years because as long as these players continue to develop, and you saw Kyle Okposo get hit from behind, and right away Dylan Cousins is sticking up for him, taking a cross-checking penalty. We haven't seen that kind of stuff in the last 3-4 years. You haven't seen that type of, willingness to stick up for your teammates, and you see it night in and night out from this kid. It's phenomenal. I think down the line, he's going to be a captain for this team. But I mean, I'm not really thinking about putting the C on his jersey right now. So, but again, another 3-2 loss, come right back tomorrow night against the Ottawa Senators. Who knows who's going to be in that? I'd imagine maybe it'd be Michael Hauser, who is, that's normally what you do in a back-to-back, especially with Aaron, and I think Aaron Dell played the last game. So, giving him the night off, starting Michael Hauser against a team, even though they've won 2 in a row, a struggling, Ottawa Senators team this season. So I definitely foresee Michael Hauser being in net tomorrow night against the Ottawa Senators. But with that being said, just a few more comments here. Skinner is a finisher. Absolutely he is. There's nothing really fancy or not unique about his game, but the guy just finishes plays. Again, gets his nose dirty and is willing to, instigate and draw penalties and score goals from, below the dots and around the net. How many often have we seen goals from Jeff Skinner like we saw today? So, Duane, I heard a rumor that the Sabres are interested in trying to land Holtby. Do you hear that? I have not heard anything about that, but honestly, it would not be surprising. He is the odd man out in Dallas. He is not starting. I'd imagine, granted, like a no trade list, why wouldn't Holtby want to come to Buffalo for a chance to at least play? Like, nobody likes to sit behind a bench unless he's content with his position down in Dallas. I can imagine maybe him moving that to come to Buffalo just for an opportunity to play, to show that he can still play in this league. I'm not sure what his long-term goals are as a goalie in this league, if he still wants to be a starter or if he's content with being a backup. But, being traded to Buffalo gives him an opportunity to at least start some games, show he can still do it, and maybe land somewhere else and, get a contract, for 1 or 2 years. I don't know. I could definitely see that. I do think the Sabres are in the market for a goaltender. They should be. Again, granted, we didn't have to give up anything from Malcolm Subban. It was future consideration. So I hope that that move comes sooner rather than later. Nothing against Aaron Dell, but I don't see him sustaining what he's done the last 2 games. Granted, he was on like a pretty good heater down in Rochester before coming to Buffalo. I think he went like 5-0, which I think you can, correlate to the way he's played in Buffalo the last 2 games. Because when you gain that confidence and that swagger down in Rochester, you bring that here to Buffalo and he's playing with a lot of confidence. Right? Even though he lost tonight, he knows that game's not on him. So, if I'm Aaron Dell, I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's not on me. Like, if I get the call again tomorrow night or the next game, I have no reason to feel like I can't be there starting for the Buffalo Sabres. So that's a good thing. So, but guys, I will hang up and listen. I hope you guys are staying safe in this snowstorm. Remember, this is brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. Get over there on George River Boulevard. Get yourself some adult beverages for the Bills game against the Chiefs on Sunday night. Remember, go Bills. Absolutely boat race the New England Patriots. Shut up all those stupid fans from New England. I shouldn't say stupid, but but they are. But the most annoying fan base in all of sports. Finally, I think they've not that they'll ever accept. I think they're accepting the fact that they are no longer the big dog in the AFC East, and they are now our bitches. Absolutely. Go Josh Allen, QB1. Show Mahomes what's up on Sunday night. Let's make this run to the Super Bowl. This city deserves it. I am so I think somebody mentioned it on the radio. The one of the most intriguing things, is what a championship parade would look like in Buffalo. Just seeing how this fan base celebrates and tailgates and supports its team across the country. No matter where you are as a Bills fan, you're a part of Bills Mafia. I think a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl parade would be astronomical, national news. So I'll hang up and listen, guys. Remember, go Sabres, go Bills, and stay safe out there. Stay indoors. Be safe if you are driving out there, and I will talk to you later.